MAGA is absolutely going off the deep end over the birthright ruling that keeps things the same way they've been since 1868. And within hours of the Supreme Court ruling, one of the most influential voices in the conservative media responded by publicly proposing forced sterilization. Yes, really. And so look, we saw the ruling Tuesday, Trump versus Barbara, the children born on U.S. soil to undocumented or temporary residents are citizens. It's the same reading of the 14th Amendment that this country has used since 1868. And Sean Davis, CEO of The Federalist, who looks like a sentient toilet brush, posted a 7-point response on X. And you just need to hear this because these are beyond my wildest thoughts. First, he proposes nullification. States issue birth certificates and they can just stop issuing them to non-citizens. Robert/Barrett can deal with the fallout and litigate each birth individually. 2, pack the court. If Robert wants to be a politician who writes laws instead of a judge, then he can fight with 10 more unelected legislators in robes. 3, deny entry to all pregnant foreigners. 4, deny entry to all female foreigners. 5, require sterilization of all foreign visitors prior to entry. 6, dissolution of the Union. A nation which can't even restrict who gets to be a citizen isn't a nation. And 7, amend the Constitution. And he says this is pointless because once a judge decides he can rewrite the Constitution at will, as Roberts and Barrett did today, the actual text is meaningless. But this is what most GOP politicians gravitate towards because they're useless. And if you think all of these options are not great, understand that this is what happens when unelected judges decide that they are in charge of the country and get to write its laws. Think about this. Point 6 in his little rant was dissolving the Union entirely. And even a former Trump White House lawyer had to reply and asked him to repost it without all the crazy stuff like dissolving the Union. Which means sterilization made the same list. But then these ideas grew legs because White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, presumably after feasting upon the souls of the innocent, went on Fox News and said that the administration would take a hard look at banning pregnant foreign visitors entirely, complaining that people from third world nations can just come into the country and have a baby that will grow up to sit in judgment of him someday. Lauren Boebert demanded that the State Department stop issuing visas to anyone pregnant. And by Tuesday night, Trump's DOJ had already directed every federal prosecutor in the country to prioritize criminal charges against anyone that is suspected of birth tourism. I mean, seriously, this is where we are. And look, I know some of this will fade away when Trump starts chasing the next shiny thing. But do me a favor, tell me in the comments, do you think that this regime will actually try to ban pregnant people from entering the country? Which, by the way, this is a movement that will tell you with total sincerity that they fight for the sanctity of every unborn life, that a fetus deserves full legal protection starting from the moment of conception. And at the same time, the same people respond to a citizenship ruling by proposing to control which women can physically enter this country based on whether or not they might be pregnant. They will fight for babies right up until the moment that baby is born to the wrong mother, and then it becomes a threat to our country, and they should be denied, tracked, or prosecuted. To these jerks, pregnancy is only ever a control mechanism, where a woman is nothing more than a vessel, and her value expires at delivery. And sure, you're going to start hearing all of these MAGA types that the new boogeyman is birth tourism. I guarantee you, Fox News, they're going to have wall-to-wall coverage. Yet one of the arguments before the Supreme Court, and this argument was filed by 140 university professors, said that birth tourism accounts for an infinitesimal proportion of children. Just like trans kids, it's not a real problem. Subscribe today because we are taking a hard look at it, is how this administration announces policies. And when they try to make it a real thing, we're going to be right here calling them out.